then Banks Podcast. Cheers, sir.
Cheers,
Cheers,
man.
man.
Cheers, man.
Finally, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's an opportunity to, like, for me personally, anyways, for me to have conversations with people I've been listening to for the longest. You know, and you're one of those people. You know what I'm saying? And it's great to see yourself. And guys, that's Base One. If you don't know who Base One is, then you shouldn't be part of the culture, of course. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? For me personally, the first time I heard of your music was, I think, 2014 December or 2015, if I'm not mistaken. That was when you signed to AQUILA Records.
Yeah,
but
it's 2015.
15,
yeah,
isn't it? 2015, yes. And I think it was the way real.
Yeah,
I remember.
real.
I remember because I had a cousin after he came from Lagos.
Yeah.
And he used to like just, that's the only bit he knew.
Oh,
That's it. He didn't know nothing else. It was just then, and you know how Niger people are now.
Yeah,
Mom is
it's
like,
just
God forbid, oh. And it's just hilarious to see, man. Yeah. Nice to have you on, man. How have you been? So how have you been? How have you been?
Man, I've been great, man. And I'm not even gonna lie, man. God has been great. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you look good. So yeah, you've been great.
And I appreciate that.
You
man.
look good. Yeah, you look good. I like that.
I appreciate that.
Because most times, lots of the people like to call legends, or what should I say, legacy acts, they don't look the greatest. That's why these new kids would disrespect them sometimes.
Yeah, I understand.
Because you know the world is based on visuals, what they see. You know, you have to look a certain way for them to be like, oh, that guy is a top guy and stuff like that. So how have you been navigating through this weird industry? Because obviously you're making music from the UK, I guess, predominantly from the UK.
Yeah,
has it been a bit weird because you feels like you're not in the mix, but you're in the mix?
Yeah. Doing music from the UK is different from when you're doing it back home.
Facts.
You know, and here, you have to link up with a couple of artists. And that beat sometimes is kind of tough. And again, here is a busy space.
Very.
You know, everybody have different schedules. Everybody have, different things they're doing. So sometimes your timing might not align with their own timing. You know, and
that's true. You know,
and it's more tough. You know, to just break a new market here.
That's true.
You know, it's not that they're not fans of music here.
Yeah, it's just
of
difficult.
course, but it's just different. You know, and again, the kind of music that I do, I use my language to do most of my music to rap, and I also do English, but I think language is not really a big barrier because this place is like second Niger.
Oh yeah, this is I call it Afrobeats capital headquarters of Afrobeats.
Yeah, you know, so there's no difference for me. There's no difference, but it's just that, you know, me just trying to get myself back in the game and then to catch that momentum back, you know, it's because it's tough, you know. Then when we were young, there's no we don't have I'll use the word bukata.
That's true, no responsibility.
But now you have too many things, you know. You have your kid to look after, you got family, you know, you also have your life.
Facts.
You know, to look after also. So you have to kind of like balance it. You know, it's not like before whereby, you could just focus on your career and it's easy,
that's so
you know.
True.
But now you have to put too many things, you know, you have to
absolutely
juxtapose different things.
Facts.
Just to make sure that there's a balance.
Yeah. And taking it back to obviously how you got the record deal or how you got into the space with AQUILA Records, which was owned by SHINA, PELLER. Yeah, it was owned by SHINA, PELLER then. And it's interesting because this literally takes me back to an era where you were being compared to the late great Da Green because of the should I say the melodic direction and some of the things you were saying here, like your annotation of certain words. So people, you know how people are quick to just put people. I know, was that like a pressure on you?
Yeah, to be fair, there was no pressure because I've been doing this music thing since like 2006. Yeah. You know, and then I got into the limelight. I won't even say I just got like buzz in 2012, and I think that was when OLAMIDE featured me on his YBNL album. Yeah, so that was like my first where people were like okay, who is this guy? Who is Base One? But on the streets,
of course,
people already know. You know, there are some people there are some artists that they know them on the streets.
Facts. Those are the real street guys. They own the streets.
Guys, trust me, they know them on the streets, but they might not be like major in mainstream.
Well, social media.
Yeah, social media. Yeah, but they know them on the streets, you know. Yeah. And I happen to be one of those guys. Like, people know me, and people who are into entertainment then also know me very well. And I've been doing my thing since then. It's been a really, really big roller coaster, man. Trust me.
I can imagine.
You know, 2012, that was when I featured with YBNL. And even before then, there was this time that Don Jazzy was doing what's that beat called? That was the fret. Which was even my producer that told me that, oh, bass, jump on this thing, just do your own freestyle. Then I think he was doing like Enigma.
Oh, I remember Enigma. Yeah, I remember Enigma. What a time.
Yeah, man. Trust me, man.
Oh my God.
So I jumped on it then, and I caught a little bit of buzz
from that. Yeah.
From there too. Yeah, and yeah, the YBNL, and then started performing, doing shows at there's this place in Ozone, Coco Lounge. Those days at Coco Lounge, you know, every Mondays we used to do Wax Lyrical, and it was hosted by what's his name, Loose Canaan. Then so there are a lot of cats there. It's just like, you know, that's where like rappers meet,
yeah.
And then they do their freestyles. You know, shout out to, there's so many people I met there. That was where I met Olamide.
All right.
Yeah, and Olamide used to be like their,
of course.
Yeah. Then that's before it blew up.
Of course.
You understand? So he used to do his performance there too, and there's this in that same Coco Lounge. Shout out to Bucci. He came to Wax Lyrical on a Monday to just have fun, and then he saw me perform, and he has his own show, which is Comedy Night.
Yeah, Bucci.
Yeah, he used to have his show, which is Comedy Night, every Wednesdays at the same Coco Lounge.
Right.
But it's a different kind of crowd. It's different from the crowd that comes for Wax Lyrical.
Absolutely.
You know, because people who come for Wax Lyrical, like, there's so many artists that used to come there. MI, there's so many, Phenom, trying to remember names.
Oh, man, Phenom.
You know, Vector. Too many people used to come there, you know. Phenom, too many people used to come. What's this guy's name? That did the wax. Too many people used to come to Wax Lyrical anyways. Wax Lyrical was always nice. You know, as a rapper, that place kind of like sharpens your skills.
Of course, that's, you want to be there to like take in ideas and you know what I mean, be around people that are equally good, if not better, at some point.
Yeah, and then you get to compete with people who are also very dope.
That's what it is.
You know, and that place taught me how to connect with the crowd. You know, because you know, when you don't have a hit song and you need to perform, you have to connect with the crowd. That's the only way you can get their attention. So if you can't do that with your bars, then there's no way.
You know what? You've just said something that's so important. Oh man, this is such a nostalgic. Like it's the difference is so clear. What you just said is so important. Like in terms of being able to sharpen your skills in performance and being able to connect to the crowd. There's loads of kids, no, sorry, not to say kids, but loads of people that have got songs on this so-called charts. They can't connect with the crowd. They can't perform.
Yeah, they can't perform.
They just make the song in their little
studio and that's it.
Done.
As in the thing is that, you know, a lot of people, you know, they hide under marketing.
Of course.
You know, because when your song is major, you know, once you climb on the stage, people just gravitates towards the song automatically because they know the song already. The song is popular already.
They kind of help you perform the song.
You know, so they help you perform the song. So it's more easier. But imagine you climbing on stage and then performing a song that people don't really know.
That's true.
And then you have to wow the crowd.
It's true, you know, because it's so quiet. I've been to like what do you call those things? Like talent nights and stuff like that, where you don't know anyone. Oh, this Mr. X is coming up on stage. You're like, oh, just little claps.
Little claps, you know.
Then they come up on stage and they do something like, I don't know if we're enter. Damn, that stuff is scary.
Trust me. You see, back to the Bucci story. You know, because Bucci's crowd, they're more of guys who just want to come and have fun.
Of course, comedy
with their babes. And they are drunk. They don't even care. You know, they don't pay attention to your lyrics. So you have to wow them. So that place taught me, because I was there for like 3 years.
Damn.
Back to back. And I used to do Wax Lyrical Mondays and Comedy Night on Wednesdays.
On average, how many times a week do you go there?
It's once in a week. It's every week.
No, I'm putting that with your Wax Lyrical and that Butchie Night. So that's like twice a week.
Twice in a week, damn. Yeah. So, and I do that every week. I don't miss it. Jeez. And what I used to do then was, because then nothing we would use our ears, they think. Not just bars, man.
Wake up, brush, bath,
go. Just hustle and that's it, and then write songs and write raps. Damn. So I used to make sure that anytime I go there, I come there with new materials. And it has to be witty, because that's the only way that I can connect with the crowd. It has to be funny. It has to be something that they can relate to. So I got to do that for like 3 years. Damn. And funny enough, the funny thing is that Bucci doesn't understand Yoruba. Yeah. But he just knows. He understands but he just believes in me. Like, that's crazy. This guy, no worry. We're real. You see, even my slogan was even bigger than my.
I still hear that ad-lib in your song till today.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Crazy. I love that. That's branding. That's branding.
Just that alone, it goes a long way. And that process in my life, kind of like sharpened my skills, and helped me on the long run. Because there was a time that we were at the club at Aquila, and I got to see OLAMIDE. So then that was when he was preparing for the Olik 1.
Okay. Yeah.
The first Olik. Yeah. Funny enough, me and Chinkweku were still talking about it a couple of days ago.
What a moment.
Yeah, we spoke on the phone. So OLAMIDE was like, bass, I want make we do this same thing what would you do for Coco Lounge. Like, we will do this Wax Lyrical thing. Like the freestyle whereby a rapper will rap.
Like it's a conversation.
Yeah,
I love that kind of rap, to be fair.
So it was like, it would be something different from just artists coming and then performing the songs and all that. And he wanted me and Chinkoekun to do that on the stage. I'm like, oh, really? I was so happy, man. I was gassed, man. Trust me. I was like, okay, man, because that's a big platform.
That's a massive platform, man.
So on that day, we were backstage. We even lost hope that we were going to perform because there were a lot of people there, too many artists. Everybody want to climb the stage. And I'm talking about artists who are like proper major. Yeah. I think he did that show in 2000.
TBS. Was it not in TBS he did it?
No. He did it in a hotel.
A hotel, sorry. It became a bigger,
that was the first one that he ever did. Damn. Olik 1. It was major, man. Trust me. It was I remember that moment. It was packed, man. I'm not even going to lie. And we got to... we were backstage, and I was even like telling Chinko that, yo, what's up? Are you sure we're still gonna go? Are we still gonna climb on stage? And it was like, he doesn't even understand what's going on, And I think it was Wizkid. After Wizkid performed, when Wizkid climbed the stage, that the show has ended already because then maybe OLAMIDE is gonna be the one to close the show and all that. True. OLAMIDE just tapped me like, yo, bass. I didn't even see him because he I don't know where he came from. I don't know. He just tapped me like, yo, bass. Oh, yeah, down at the climb stage down. Oh, yeah. We're like, really? Oh, yeah, now let's go. And then my boss, SHINA, he was there. I've always been a friend of the family. And, but then I was telling him that, boss, I want you to sign me and all that. But he's like, I already got 2 artists already. That's, PELLER and Tillerman.
No, there was another.
You got Tillerman.
I know Tillerman.
Yeah, Tillerman and Kid.
I remember Tillerman, man.
Yeah.
And there's another person that signed, I think, after.
Yeah, that's A-Boy.
A-Boy. Sorry, carry on with story. A-Boy, yes. A-Boy.
Yeah, so...
that jam that time.
Yeah. So, when Wizkid got off the stage, and then we were next, it was mad. I'm not even gonna lie. And then then it's not like now whereby everybody have phones. Yeah. And you see all those times I'm talking about. Then people don't really record things.
People are living in the moment.
That's people the thing. You understand?
So and I guarantee. Sorry to interrupt, but I guarantee that moment you still can't remember every detail of it.
I can't.
That's it. It was so great. That's the thing a lot of people don't realize. Yeah. Great moments, they become so hazy and fade. Like you're trying to explain to someone, you're like, you can't even relive the moment anymore. But carry on.
But it was lit, man. I'm not even gonna lie, man.
I can imagine, man.
You know, when I go on stage, I was like, we're real. I know my own people. My people for street, they shout, "Yo, more." So I told them, I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Anyways, this is our crowd, anyways. So it was easy, and you know, this is something that I've been doing for years. I've done it for like 3 years. So going on that stage was like all the years I was going through all that phase was to prepare me for that very moment.
Of course.
And it was that very moment that sealed the deal with AQUILA.
Of course, he saw it and go, what?
He just sent me a BBM message. Then it was BlackBerry. Days of BlackBerry. It was like, Baze, I need you to come to my house right now. What do you need? We have to put you on board. I was like, you can see that. That was what sealed it for me, man.
That's dope, man.
Because the performance was so mad. It was different from what everybody was doing because everybody was there. All the celebrities that were there, they were just coming to perform their songs and all that, hit songs that they were. But this was something different and new to people. Right. Even on that day, there were so many tweets because then it was Twitter. It was Twitter. Twitter was where the vibe was then. You know, so a lot of celebrities were tweeting that this is one guy did that. So I got a lot of, a lot of buzz
and validation.
That night. It was lit though, and I really enjoyed myself. And it was just like a stroll in the park because it's something that I've been doing. So
just like a footballer been training, and suddenly you get the chance to play.
So,
like,
so it was so easy, and I always give props to OLAMIDE, and he's somebody who has a very big heart.
No, he does.
He has a very big heart.
I don't. Again, people like him. People don't believe when I say he's not human.
Trust me.
Because I know this might sound silly to a lot of people, but I genuinely believe it's not just us that live on Earth. I feel like aliens are, but it's just that they're in human form. You see, like your Messi, Ronaldo, those guys are not normal. They're not. Honestly, they're not normal people. OLAMIDE is not like. Trust me. You can't be, especially in a country like Nigeria. Come on, man, that's not normal.
And because the kind of grace that they have is, and their journey. Their choices and the way they do things is what makes them who they are.
Absolutely.
You understand? And they're great people. When you see great people, you know that, this is great. This 100%. Song is great.
100%.
And he's somebody who is not afraid to let other people's light shine. And
that's the meaning of humility.
Yeah. And
before, to my people watching, humility is not Iwa. It's not.
No, it's not Iwa.
No one cares about that stuff, man.
No.
Humility is being able to say, you know what, I know I need this seat right now, but I'll get up because I'm not gonna die if I don't sit down. You can have it. You can. That's humility.
Have it and have your moment.
Yeah, and that's interesting because what you've just said has actually sparked a lot of thoughts in my head. I've got so many questions, man, because it's just interesting. Like for me, I don't want it to be like a question and answer. I just want us to vibe and like you're gisting with someone, And then that moment, of course, after that, I think from the back of that, you signed with AQUILA Records. Then you did a remix to Fino,
with Fino and OLAMIDE. To be fair, originally, that the Were remix was supposed to be featuring Reminisce and OLAMIDE. And I spoke to OLAMIDE. I spoke to Reminisce about it. But once you're signed to a label, you can't just make decisions 100%. So there were so many factors that they were just considering, and there was just a lot of debate about it. And I really wanted Reminisce on it. I know and he was.
You guys
ready.
have similar. Yes, your cadence is almost similar.
Yeah, no, because even before I got signed to AQUILA, I was supposed to sign with Reminisce.
Right.
Yeah, I was supposed to sign with him. Yeah, and this time was a very short period of time, because then I was having my own buzz. I was having my own moments.
You could have stayed. You could have been independent if you wanted to.
Yeah. But it was either I go with Reminisce or I go with SP, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I think I would just take this route, and I didn't regret the route I took, anyways. I didn't regret it.
So how were you signed for a set contract, like a set year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? What was the contract like?
The contract, I think I can't even remember, man, to be fair. Because to be fair, it was not like, bro, that man is a billionaire already,
Of course,
know.
yeah.
So he doesn't really care about. He just wants to.
And you know, that's where my issue is. Now,
Yeah.
of course, shout out to him. I'm not necessarily him of him, but just using him as a reference point. You know, when you sign with a person that is not, he's not an artist.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. The two things that could happen. It could go really great, or it could just be, it's all right. Because from a point of view, if he's not really as an artist, he doesn't understand what the artist did. All he needs to do is just fund like a project. Or like, oh, you want an album? Okay, let's do this. Let's get this artist. Let's get this out. I feel like after a while, if there's not a certain recoup, if you're not recouping how much you've invested, you know, you kind of get bored. And I don't.
I think that was what even happened, to be fair. Because he's a businessman. And he's someone who owns a club, and club business is fast money.
Facts.
You understand? If I put £10 down, I'm gonna get £20 tonight.
100%.
That's it. I get my money. But music is not like that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, music is more of long term.
That's why, like I said, in my mind, of course, I don't know. Everyone's journey is different. Your journey was different.
100%.
I feel like if you had signed with Reminisce, things would have been different because Reminisce is an artist.
So
with artists, they know what it takes to like go through a journey of, okay, I won't get money in the first year or two, for instance. I might not. Hence why Olamide has loads of artists under him. Hence why Don Jazzy have loads of artists under him. Look at all the other businessmen that have got record labels. They've either packed up or they sold it away because do you get me? The mindset is, how can I recoup? They don't know enough about music. They don't understand that. With an artist moment.
But the thing with SP is that he loves entertainment. And
clearly.
he's in the spectrum of the entertainment business. You understand? But not really the music.
That's
business.
what I'm coming for. Yeah, of course.
You understand? And then you know, he's somebody who, you know, imagine you invest like 100, for example, now, and then we come back with return of 20. We give him 20, and then we come back to request for another 100.
It's like it's a minus.
Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on here?
It's a minus. You know what I mean? It's in deficit. But but that's why I'm saying, in my opinion, which has nothing. It's not a detriment to him. It's not an indictment on him. It's nothing like that. It's just that's what I've always said to artists I speak to. Oh, I've got this guy interested. Is this person into music? Does he like music? And I tell them my honest opinion. If he's not into music, you have to be cautious. You have to actually say to this person, let's do a year. Let's see how this year go. Because with an artist, if I'm signing with you now, let's say I'm an artist and I'm signing to you, I 100% believe that after 3 years, even though there's no, like, you know what I mean, you're not getting dividends or you're not getting some sort of profit, you still have that faith in me because we've been through it too as an artist. You just said it. You stayed you're doing something for 3 years. Didn't give up, hope. Cool. You think any businessman would do that for that's the thing. After 6 months, I'm like, bro.
I think that's where, just to buttress your point, I think that's where passion kicks in.
100%.
You understand? Because passion is something that you do, even if you don't get paid for it, you do it because you love it. You know, and you don't expect other people to have that same passion that you have.
Absolutely.
You know, even there's so many artists that they do music, and they don't really have passion for what they do.
Clearly.
They don't have. Some are just there to make money. Some they're doing it as a poverty, a way to escape poverty.
It's an alleviation scheme now.
You know,
poverty
and then a lot of people, and shout out to all the OGs. OGs, you know, and because they sold the game to us, and the way they sold it, they made us believe that everything is rosy.
Of course.
They made us believe that. Then in our mind, we're like, oh, if I can get my song on TV and get my song on radio, damn, I'm blown. Then that way I'll be making millions. Bro, you're in for a ride, man.
They didn't tell you that. Just like you're expecting that too. There's about 2 million other kids feeling the same.
Thinking the same, you know. And then you see them look so fly in the music video, but what they're portraying on TV doesn't match their lifestyle.
It's all rented.
You know,
it's all for the
trust. Do you understand?
Crazy.
So it's like they scammed all of us.
Oh no, it's just
that's the way I saw it. Because even you see a lot of artists that you still see that are still on top now, is because they're resilient.
Oh yeah,
and they have sacrificed a lot of years, a lot of capital, a lot of funds, a lot of pain, sweat,
blood,
blood.
All of it.
They've sacrificed all those things so that they can, and it might take them 20 years to achieve that. It might take them 10 years to achieve that. You know, and again, you don't really know the entire story. You know, there's some people that you just see that, oh, the music is major everywhere. It's big everywhere. Everybody knows the song. You know, this artist is proper major. And then you get to meet those artists, and then you see that the way it is not the way it is.
That's
like
facts.
they're roasting.
That's fine.
Do you understand? Then you won't be able to believe it because you'll be like, no, it's not possible.
It's not possible at all. How?
Do you understand?
Nobody guys see
And then,
for TV
and then a lot of people keep up. That's where some artists, you know, they sleep on themselves. You know, they keep up with the Jonesing.
Yeah.
You understand? And then, you know, because you are trying to, you know, level up to the lifestyle that you're portraying.
You want to match.
And you want to, so it's very difficult.
Yeah, that's where depression sets in.
Yeah.
And this is where, that's what.
Trust me, I don't know anybody who is an artist. Trust me, if you just see any artist, just first shake her face.
Oh, me? I respect.
Hail them.
That's
respect
why
them.
I'm a guy that I don't care about numbers. I care more about impact. I care about you being part of people's lives. So I'll give you an example now. So just today, actually, I was talking to one of my friends, and we were talking about Obey. I'm like, man, it's crazy how when our fathers and our mothers used to play Obey, we'd be like,
damn, what's this? Bro.
But somehow, we grew older, and we are playing Obey. Ourselves, we too are playing
I
Obey.
slam it, man.
It's crazy.
Bro, sometimes it just brings peace to your soul. Sometimes the prayers, the lyrics in their songs is so deep and has so much weight.
You just said my next. That's what I'm talking about, substance. You see what you're saying to people? You know, I've always said, for an artist, do you want your music to outlive you, or do you want to outlive your music?
Let me tell you something. It's like what I live by now. And this is it. As a creator, if you create things, you know, when you create it, you know, when you just create something, it's new. And then you have that, this is so new. I want you guys to see this new thing that just like when you get a new shoe, for example. You know, you be like, this is my new shoe. And then you want to rock it.
Everywhere.
Give it time. Give it 2 years. That same shoe other ones, you create other new things. And then that shoe that was once your favorite is now something that you don't even care about.
That's true.
So my music is, you know, when I create my music now, that's the mindset that I live by. Why are you in a rush?
True.
To promote the song? The song you created is going to last forever. It's going to last forever.
It's yours. It's out there now.
It's out there now. It's forever. It's like, in 100 years' time, anybody who wants to listen to that vibe can just Google it and then look for it and then just press play. It's going to be there forever.
That's a
so
good mindset.
So why are you rushing to make your song be on the top 100? And even if you put it there in the next 3 months, other new songs are going to come and your song will be forgotten.
This is what I'm saying. And this is what I say about a lot of people. I say your King Sonny Ade, your Kwamwan, which I'm still going to ask a question because you have a song with K1.
Yeah.
And all these other artists, major artists that have been part of our lives growing up as kids and even as older people now, it's like those guys so much focused on life experience and relatability. So they're making songs that like you'll be able to speak to a child about. You'll be able to use the lyrics to speak to another child or speak to someone about. You know, there's a meme I saw one time, a man and his wife, they were using songs of lyrics to talk to each other. This is like an old, I can't remember, it's in an AQUILA music or it's one old song like that I know my mom used to play back in the. I was like laughing to myself, I was like, this is actually interesting. Some people watching that have never heard that song before, but from then on, they just go, let me go and listen to the full song, you know? Because if you look at the charts, there's a lot of farming on there. People are paid to get on there. So for you now, as a rapper, predominantly a rapper, there was a lot of times you went through different phases. You know, I was saying to my guy last week, actually, I was like, you know, it's funny, right? Base One is not necessarily your in the charts artist. But when we talk about rap, somehow, for me, I'll speak for myself. I'll always bring your name up when you talk about indigenous raps in Nigeria. I always say, Base One. You know, even though it's top 50, top 20, top 10, your name will come up, right? And I was just saying to him, this was like 2 weeks ago, I was just saying to him that, interestingly, every time, like, those times when your song will come on, you can just hear the energy and passion from you. Like, you could tell that, this person, it's either he's been rapping for a long time or is a fan of hip-hop.
Yeah.
And we know hip hop does not pay right now in this
yeah,
current Afrobeats.
It's
so
not
now exactly. There was a time. There was a song you did. You did like an Azonto vibe. I don't know if you remember that song.
Yeah.
It's one of my songs.
I think it was Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. I used to DJ. I used to like mix the song. I won't play the song to the end, but I'll just pick up bits on it because I love the beat. I love how your vibe was on it, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you sounded like Sarkodie. You didn't sound like Sarkodie, but that same bounce.
Yeah, that kind
then
of bounce. Then
you did, and that's when I realized that wow, it's really tough for rappers. You know why? Because you want to enjoy what this, maybe let's use Whiskey, Burna Boy, all this fast kind of music, but you want to stay true to your art.
To your own art.
How difficult is that? Tell me.
Yeah, to be fair, you have to have an equilibrium point, a balance, a perfect balance, so that you don't lose yourself in the process. You know, as an artist, you know, fine. I would say that my main genre is rap, hip hop, right? But I'm also an artist, and sometimes I create songs that are not even rap oriented.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like there's not even bars in them, but it's a complete song. But it's not what I really want to do. But it's a beautiful song. Yes. Like there's so many songs that I wrote. Yeah. There was a time that I wrote a particular song, then I was in Aquila. That song could have changed the trajectory of my journey. But anyways, I love the way my journey went. Anyways, but it could have changed the trajectory of my journey. Because that song was so good, it was so good. So we're just trying to get an endorsement deal from Nestle, then. Right. So because we couldn't bag that endorsement deal, because we couldn't bag it, they had to cancel the project because it's like it would look as if we were doing free promo for them, you know. So and then I think it's because. It was more of ego.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this sounds more like ego, man.
Yeah, it was more of ego, and you know that's the thing. You know, once you're in a label, and then too, you don't have everything figured out.
Yeah.
We don't have everything figured out. We're learning, and the funny thing is that you know it's like you're already on the road. You're moving already. Yeah. So you have to start learning while you're moving.
Absolutely.
So those are part of the things that I got to understand. There's so many things that I'm still learning. Anyways, the life is a school. The only time you graduate is when you die. Yeah. So that's how it is. Yeah. You know. So I keep learning because then we want to do so many things. Man, it was just a lot, man. It was a lot.
Yeah. So, again, I don't know if you've heard the conversations online. I don't know if you're online that much, but there's a talk about hip hop we know hip hop in Nigeria is dead. We know that because hip hop, people keep forgetting hip hop is an umbrella term for we have rap, we have a lot of things, we have fashion, we have all of that. But rap in itself, do you actually believe that? Man, there's no point, especially for like in Nigeria, like.
Let me explain.
Yeah.
You see, the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for example, I'm in my 30s now. You understand? And when I was doing proper, when I was in the music proper, that was like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Do you understand? So imagine the kind of fans that we had then. Now they are now men with responsibilities. Do you think there is music that is their main focus? No. They've moved to other things.
They've moved to other things. That's
so true. Now the fans that are listening to the music are young ones.
Yes.
And they don't have Bukata yet.
No, they don't have Bukata.
Do you understand? They don't have that
10
yet.
years, they'll be sat here to tell you so.
By the time they get older, all the artists that they will bump into, they won't even have time to even listen to them. So the only people that will stay true to you are your core fans.
Those are the ones you need to feed.
Yeah, but even you yourself as an artist, when you get to a particular stage, you will now understand that there are so many facets to life.
Facts.
And you can't just, especially if the music that you so-called love is not giving you the same feedback.
Yeah.
Then you now you'll be like, okay, you know what? This is a marketplace. On Okonde Woja. Alpha. wait till if you do it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's
so if you don't start thinking of plan B's and plan C's, bro,
it's a wrap.
You go collect what. It's facts. See, the thing is that a lot of people don't, you get a reason why they do power bank. You understand? Now, because if your phone low and you don't get light to charge and you go feel use them.
Backup.
You understand? You have to have a backup.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand?
That's true.
You see, and if you say that, okay, fine, I don't get any other backup now, this music now you want to do, then you must be ready for everything.
Everything. Absolutely.
And I'll tell you this, music is like a girlfriend that doesn't care about any boyfriend.
100%. Yeah, music is not there to...
Music doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about all the effort you've put in. And as an artist, let's say, for example, all the effort that you put in is like 70%. The only thing that is noticeable to the entire populace is 7% of it. And that's if you're lucky.
That's just true.
Do you know how many songs that we recorded that never got out? Do you know how many studio sessions? Do you know how many videos that we canceled? Do you know how many things? Do you know how much we've invested? Time that we've invested. And the funny thing is that if you invest the same time that you invest in this same music in other facets of life, you would have gone.
But there again, that's another counter. It's true, but sometimes that same effort, it can be put into other things. It wouldn't move. The thing wouldn't move. Why? Because I genuinely believe there's certain things created and meant for someone. You know? Yeah. Because the truth is, an artist now, you could be like, man, if I just put this effort in something else, that thing wouldn't even move. Why? Because that's not your core passion. That's not what God has called for you to do.
But to be fair, I will bet to differ in a way. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is how can I put this? Okay. Like, for example, let's say, there's some skill set that for you to master that skill set, it might just take you just 2 years to master it. It doesn't care it's not about whether you love it or not. True. Do you understand? Let's say, for example, you want to get into tech. Yeah. For example, you have to do some online classes. Right. You have to do some things. But you know that once you have that and you get a job, you'll be fine. At least you'll be straight to an extent. Yeah. Do you understand? Then you can now use whatever income you get and then put it in your passion. Yes. Because passion is what you love, whether you get paid or not. Yeah. But time is going. And you don't want to get old and then your passion is not giving you nothing. And
you now hate your passion.
And bro, it's gonna be a burden. And you see the funny thing about music or entertainment is, there's the level of fame that you acquire that it will be hard for you to do anything lesser to survive.
That's true. So start thinking of ego, pride. All of
how
that.
will people see me?
Me, I know.
Do you understand? I know if you do this kind of.
They will not ask you, are you base one? No.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So fame is a very powerful thing that if money no they attached to them or
tough, man.
Comfort is gonna be tough.
You know what you just said is interesting. I'm not famous and stuff like that.
No, don't say that.
No.
It depends. See, I'll tell you this. It depends on who your fans are.
That's true.
And the funny thing is that you see whatever you're doing right now, to you, you're just doing you right now, and then you are not as big as you imagine in your head. But trust me, give it 5 years, give it 10 years. There are some people who will still come back to your podcast to come and listen to it.
You know what? It's interesting. What you've said is so interesting because I was on my way from work and I was like dipping my hand in my bag and I was like searching for my keys and I was like, because I could see the house and I'm like, man, let me take I'm almost there. Yeah. And the lady was staring at me. So me, I got not scared because South London, I don't get scared. But in my head, I was like, does she know me or is something happening? Then I thought to myself, oh, I'm putting my hand in my bag. She might be like, hey, what's this guy about to do? But the thing is, she stopped and said, yeah, the guy on YouTube. I was like, hey, what? I was like in shock. I was like, huh? She's like, oh man, watch you all the time. I was like, what the heck?
So you can imagine.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you this again. There's some people who will recognize you, but they won't talk. They won't say no. They just walk back. They'll just walk past pass you, and then you in your mind you think that they don't know you. No, they know you. It's just like there's some famous people that you see. You don't have to. You won't call them. I saw you. You just walk by and then be like, do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you never can tell how big you really are.
Yes, true. You never can tell. And that's why I have a platform like this. I just want to have, like I said, I don't have conversations like everyone in the industry are having. Let's get someone that is number one on the charts. We don't know how the person get there. We don't know how the person got there. So I don't want that. I just wanted to pick on, like, talk to people that I believe I can have a good conversation with. That's, for me, again, like I said, it's all about impact. It's all about purpose. The purpose of a podcast is to have a good conversation. So now, for instance, if I have like one of the biggest artists in the world, he might be sat here and he might not divulge information. Why? Because he's a superstar. So it would be like you're hitting a rock with a nail. When did you make music? 10 years ago. That's it. Because I've had conversations with people like that. But because me, I like to mix with people. That's how I was able to do it. I don't want to, you know yourself, bro. But it was difficult. And this is an artist that right now he actually has a song out now that, he's one of the buzzing artists. But he was sat there, we're talking. Not that he was, I don't want to be here. You could tell that side of him is not, he's not a very outgoing person. He's very shy. He feels like, okay, I don't, those people that they'll sing and rap. You'll be like, this guy will be fun to talk to. Then you meet them, you're like, this guy just wants to be at home.
There are also people with different personalities.
That's what it is,
And then there are also some people that they don't have a story.
That's true.
They don't, even if they have a story, the story is not interesting.
That's big facts.
There's some people that their journey is short before they got to their destination.
That's true.
So they don't really have so much to say.
That's true.
You understand? But, when you're, because a lot of people think that it's in the destination. No, it's in the journey.
That's true.
You see, the journey is what makes it interesting.
Big facts.
Because when you look back, then you don't see how
stories
far you've come. You be like, God damn.
That's true.
Oh boy, you don't try, you.
Yeah.
You said you don't grieve for these people. It was tough, man. It takes me back to when, after I finished performing at Wax Lyrical, I have to trek from Yaba and I'll trek to Oshodi.
Damn.
And I do that every night because when the show stops, let's say the place closes around 1 o'clock a.m. in the midnight. I can't catch a damn food that I normally catch normal. And I'm not so rich to say that I want to catch a cab. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just an artist that is struggling, trying to just make something for myself.
Damn.
And then you just have to just see yourself. Sometimes even if you want to catch a cab, you won't even see a cab.
Of course, it's late.
And then
already.
You don't have a choice. You have to trek.
Damn. And that leads me to the next thing I actually wanted to speak to you about. You see, now that you're now signed to Aquila Records, and you have all this other...
Was signed. Not signed.
Was, sorry. In my head now, I still see life. I'm so entrenched into the story, forgotten that time was gone. But yeah, when you were signed then, and all the other label mates you had, what was what was the dynamics like? Because it's tough signing. Remember, everyone it's either there's a priority or there's a rota, or there's schedule, or you release this month. You have to chill.
Yeah.
Was it a thing? Because there's a time I saw you guys were always making songs with each other, which I like. I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's that way you're trying to show the world that you guys have the talent here, rather than branching out to go feature someone else most record labels do now.
Definitely.
Label A will be featuring artists from label C, and you're like, but they offer mates. You know what I mean?
You got
So how was it? What was the dynamics like for you guys?
Yeah, as an artist, you have to have your own team. That's it. So everybody have different teams.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we all know that we are under one umbrella. And, to cut budget, because instead of me spending money on this, why can't you guys come together? Let's make the budget one.
Yeah.
And that way it was easy for us. But it's something that we didn't get to do that much. We wanted to, we have so many materials that we even put out a body of work, but it didn't fly. And the problem was because everybody was focused on their artists. As in all the teams, they are focused on their artists. They are not focused on the
record label.
on the record label as a unit. So it didn't really fly the way we expected it to fly. You know, I think for me, being at Aquila taught me a lot of things. It taught me a lot of things, and I'm so glad that I was part of that family. And you know, me, I'm from the streets, and you see, even while we're on the streets, we're not the touts. No, I'm not the touts. I'm from a good background. You understand? And I was well taught. I went to school. You understand what I'm saying? I can speak English properly. If I did with the Boti people, I go mingle with them 100%. Yeah. No issues. Yeah. And if I did street, I don't even know I'm one bit. You get me? So it was easy. Right. So I was like in the middle. So it was easy for me to
perfect balance.
Yeah, perfect balance. So it was easy. And what that place taught me is it taught me life.
In what way though? Life in what way?
Quality life. Like knowing that there's so much money. Because you know, in 2015, 2016, 2017 was the height of nightlife. Was the height. Quillox was, trust me, the main hub.
People were making some Quillox bar will be in there.
Trust me, man.
Somehow.
Trust me. Like Quillox was, and SP2 was at the height of his, it was like in his prime. Yeah. Then, you understand, in the entertainment scene. Yeah. So it was an eye opener, and I got to understand that luxury life sweet too. Like there are some things that you now need to start thinking. You have to start thinking big.
Yeah.
You know, and I got exposed to the lifestyle.
How can I sustain this lifestyle?
You know, I got exposed to the lifestyle, and then I got to meet a lot of people that you will not have access to. Absolutely. On a normal day. They were just right there beside you.
Absolutely.
You understand? And you can just easily link up with them. You can easily, you know, do things with them.
Yeah. That's the benefits of a record label.
Yeah. And then we had a studio upstairs.
Crazy.
You know, in the studio upstairs, anybody comes into the studio. Today you just see Burna Boy in the studio. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, after they finish drinking, they just more go upstairs, more go studio. That was where it was in Quillox studio that I recorded the song. Yeah.
Crazy.
Trust me. Yeah. He was there, and he was shout out to Phantom anyways. Phantom is a very, very dope producer. Yeah, and he was the one who produced the song. And he did that in that same place.
Crazy.
You understand what I'm saying? So
how was that moment though? Because you as an artist, it's important though to touch on things like that for you, because it's now one of, I would say, it's gone into the history books. I would say it's now like a staple in Afrobeats. How was that moment for you to know that a song like that was made, and either your presence or you were just around it?
Yeah.
You know, and looking back at that moment, going, did you think the song was gonna be that big, or you just thought it's just another song?
No, I did. I was not. It was not in my present. Oh, okay. I was not there presently. Oh, okay. You know, but we've been in the studio with Burna. 100%. You understand? Because he was really close with my boss.
100%. He said in this song so many times.
So and finding out that they record that kind of record in that same space,
greatness.
You understand? Is mind blowing.
Facts.
You know, and it means that anything can happen. And you know the funny thing about what that place also taught me was knowing how to make hit records. And knowing how to make bangers. Because if you're in the club, you know the DJs, they only play bangers. Oh, yes. Do you understand? So any new banger, it was aired there first. That's where you get to enjoy it. So that way we were so close to the game that if I listen to a banger right now,
you would know.
I would know that that's a banger, and then I can quickly create something similar to it.
That's dope. And that's exactly what I was saying. There was a period where, like I said, especially you went through like a phase of different type of sounds that are out there. So I was thinking, he's so versatile.
It was because of the sound that I was exposed to.
That makes perfect sense.
And then when you're now in a label, you need to start chasing bangers.
Oh yeah, that's it.
It's not commercial. Time for you to be lyrical.
No,
nobody cares. We know that you can rap. We know.
Absolutely.
We know. Look for bangers and look for ways to make money with your bangers.
Yeah, man.
There was a point that, you know, because me, if anytime I'm in the club, I'm not really that kind of like night owl. But the situation I find myself makes me a night owl. So I don't have a choice.
So you're just surveying, studying.
Yeah. And then anytime I'm in the club, I'll just leave the club and then I'll go to there's a terrace there, and then that's my favorite spot. I just stay there. And I'll just be looking at the fleet of cars. I'll be looking at the Rolls Royce, Ferraris. I'll be like, are these cars in this country? Do you understand? Because on the street, you don't get to see all these things. You know, those things open my mind. And then anytime I'm going back home in my Toyota Corolla, I'll just be shedding tears. What's this?
You know what? I love this. Why? Because you're being open and honest about this is another side of people that have been part of a record label. Because most times online, all you hear is, they didn't let me release my song. They cheated me. My contract was this. So I'm so happy that you're sharing. Should I say you giving us an insight into what for you how you took that environment. It's like an environment that kind of inspired you, which is so important. It's very important because that leads again. It's one of those things that I like to talk about outside, even in front of cameras and stuff. It's just that you being in a record label, the dynamics was the dynamics. You know, you're making music and you're doing your own thing. Did you ever feel like, man, I want to be independent? Outside the good things, you know. But going back to the other things, you know, in life, everyone's created in twos. Did you feel like you wanted to be independent?
Every artist always love to be independent, if they can. But you need to understand that music is a team sport, and every part of your team, even you as an artist, might be the one holding the short end of the stick.
Facts.
And then you have to make sure that your team, they are fully fed. You understand? There are some times that we go to shows and then I get paid, and then let's say, for example, let me just use like 50,000 naira. I got paid 50,000 naira. I don't mind giving my manager 40,000 naira.
Oh wow!
Then I use the 10,000 to buy fuel, and then we eat with it.
Oh,
I don't care because at the end of the day, these people also have responsibilities.
Can I be a manager, please?
Because I'm trying to make you understand my mindset. What you mean. I'm not really the kind of person that is like serious, money driven. No, I'm not that kind of person.
That's good.
Is good. And for me, I always think of the long game. I don't think about now because I know that whatever we're doing right now is just peanuts. What we're heading to is the bigger bag. And then I have to make sure that everybody's straight and you're straight. Then I'll be straight, provided that people around me are straight. Because that's one thing that a lot of people don't know, that they don't know the trick. You know, keeping people around you straight makes you straight.
Absolutely. Because you're learning from them. As well as you're picking up game from them. You know,
and then they will become loyal to you. Because they know that, this person, and people like that are rare anyways.
That's right.
You know, and they'll want to always keep you around. Because they know that, this person, if things is going well,
he's got us.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
You
know, and you know, there's so many, if you look at the bosses in the game that are doing so well now, you will know that that's their template.
No, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying, like, obviously outside you being part of a record label, and now you've seen from afar, because of course from wherever you are right now. What do you think the state of rap looks like in Nigeria right now?
Right now, to be fair, we're not in the limelight right now. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not even gonna blame the artists. It's not that these artists are not trying or they are not.
It's just there's no market for it.
You know, it's not that there's no market for it. Funny enough, there are fans for it.
No,
and
absolutely.
There's a market for it. But
I mean, when I say market, I mean the buying market.
The buying market. Yeah. There is. There is. Trust me, there is. But it's just that there are other people with bigger marketing budget.
There you go. That's what it is.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And right now, it's easy for them to just, people just want to vibe because...
But that's what I said. Escapism. Afrobeats is escapism.
Yeah. People just want to vibe for the moment. No one wants
to hear bars.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bar in your latest song with Ido West.
Yeah. That's conversational.
Yeah. There's a bar where you said something along the lines of, anyone will want mod. That is a bar. Do you like when you hear a bar like that, you just press pause and go, damn man, you have to be part of the culture to understand that. This is what I'm trying to say. So for instance now, when I'm hearing that, I'm gassed, and I'm like looking around for someone that can relate to it and say that stuff to. Now, if I find someone from Sweden that wants to just listen to, for instance now, Wizkid, Burna Boy, stuff like that. How can I even explain to that person that, yo, this is a harder bar than what that person said? Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because everyone wants to vibe and forget their worries. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're listening, again, I think most indigenous rappers, like, you guys are really good on drill beats.
Yeah. And
I love it when I hear like a reminisce jump on a drill beat, like yourself jump on a drill beat.
Yeah.
It's perfect because people don't realize that drill beat is African beats sped up fast.
Yeah.
So that's 100%. Why it makes all the sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I say there's no buying market. Of course, there's going to be market for all types of music.
There is a market, but it's just that, the situation of the country.
Of course.
That's the problem. Number one, most of the fans, they just want to go and listen to your song on Audio Mac.
That's true.
Do you understand? Where they can get it for free. Yeah. Or they want to go to other sites where they can just easily Google it and just listen to it. Even they don't even have the data to even listen to it.
There's a lot of factors.
There's a lot of factors to it because it's expensive, to stream music live, in Nigeria. And, looking at the situation of the country where people never chop, they won't go hear music. So, so it's, even if you look at all the songs that are doing great, the reason why they are doing so great is because they are focused on the diaspora market.
Of course,
they are not focused on the market back home. Because even the A-list artists, when show promoters want to call them for shows, they give them bills that they can't even afford. And there's some artists that they don't know how to structure their EPKs. To cater for the needs of local promoters or local show owners.
Absolutely.
At least you have to, like, for example, let's say, for example, now I want to call you for my wedding. You're giving me the same bill that you want me, that you charge at the O2 just for a little gathering.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Max 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So those are the things that are kind of like killing the market. And then when it comes to hip-hop, it's not that the fans don't want to listen to bars. They don't want to listen to hip-hop. But it's just that the hip-hop artists, they don't really get big budgets.
Of course they don't. So they don't really get into that space where people get to see
You see, during the era of MI and Chocolate City, it was because they were in charge of their marketing budget.
100%.
That was why they were creating a lot of buzz. And it was easy for them. But the very minute the marketing budget is off, Baba, you go hear them now. Yes,
that's
now.
True. That is so
true. You put out music and nobody's going to listen to your music. It's not going to get the buzz that it needs.
Because there's a lot of marketing that goes into it. Yes.
It's marketing. Absolutely. Marketing is hit records.
No, but that's what I'm saying to people. People think you can just pick any song and just push. No, it has to be a good enough song. Yeah. When you tell some of these guys online, they'll argue with you, no, that song enter. Yes, we're not saying it's a bad song. But there's a lot of machine behind this.
Yeah, there's a lot of machine. Yeah. And the game changed. The game changed. Before you can easily play Monopoly.
Yes.
Like most of all this, like no disrespect to all the OGs, what they did was, you go to radio stations, you buy the old radio station, all the OAPs, the DJs, you easily pay them money. You even pay them money not to play some couple of artists' songs because you want your song to be on.
Absolutely.
On the top of the chart. And then because of that monopoly that, oh, if you turn on the TV, you see them playing this so artist. So go to Sound City, they'll play there. Go to MTV Base, they'll play there. Go to Trace, they'll play there. Yeah. You know, those things, you know, played a huge role in making their records big. Do you understand? But now, everybody is online now.
Absolutely.
And you can't buy online. You can't.
You can farm. You
can farm, but you can't buy it. You can't. Do you understand? You can't force me to listen to your song.
Yeah, you have to pay me to even
do you understand? You can't force me to listen to your song. I will only listen to your song if I gravitate towards the song.
That's true.
Even if you create a buzz online, you know, if a song is big online, fine. There's a lot of marketing behind it also, but it is still a choice for me to go and listen to it.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
That is so true.
You know, there are some songs that they're so major. They're so major online that if you click on it, they use it for this skit, they use it for this promo, they use it for this, they use it for that. Use on sponsored ad, You listen to the song, but that doesn't mean that I will now have to go to Apple Music to go and listen to the song.
Yeah. No,
do you understand?
That's facts, bro. I appreciate you for coming, man.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Hey, listen, I had the greatest time. I spoke to someone that genuinely gave me the vibe I was looking for. You know, shout out to everyone that's been on this podcast, and shout out to you for coming.
Yeah, appreciate that,
listen,
man. I appreciate
it's your time, and you will never get this time back. But thank you for spending that time with me, man.
Yeah,
because that's way more than money. So thank you, man. Shout out to Base One. Go check out his new record.
Yeah,
you know, the one of Ido West. That song is a vibe, man.
Yeah,
that song is a vibe, man.
Trust me. I appreciate that, man.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, man.
And yeah, man. So guys, until next time, man, you see this face, and you know what I'm saying. Yeah, bro. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Bless up, bro.
Bless up. Thank you.